I've received quite a few messages about Savage Model 99s, and I guess it was yesterday. A viewer, Mr. PH30, that's the name he goes by, picked up a Savage Model 1899, a takedown in 250 Savage, along with a box or a crate full of all kinds of old ammunition. So first of all, thanks for writing me, Mr. PH30. Quite interesting what you had to say, and I thought, well, I'll make a video quickly because I believe I have the identical gun to the one that you've picked up. And then I thought I may as well show some of the other Savages. This is kind of the last of my Savage 99 collection, which remains an undervalued gun. And somebody told me they're going to release them again, but I don't know if that's true, and I don't know what the factories will come up with these days. So anyway, the older ones are safe ground. Actually, any Model 99 or 1899 is a cool gun to own. So even some of the worn out ones. Anyway, we'll start with maybe identifying them. So this is an E, and this is a typical well-loved hunting rifle. It's in 308. It has the solid bottom. It does not have a counter. I'll show you what I'm referring to in a moment. So it's just a solid, simple receiver. There's still a lock on the lever, and that's a nice thing. Some of them don't have the lever lock. Quite often Savage 99 split right here. This tang acts like a wedge and comes back and splits the wood. So if you get one of these and they're not split, it's a good idea to take the buttstock off and relieve this area just slightly. And if you do it right, there won't be any wobble, just to give the tang a little bit of room. And you can leave the lower edge intact, or maybe take it to a gunsmith if I'm confusing you. But anyway, they often split in here as well, because although the 99 action is excellent, it requires kind of a unique stocking design. But regardless, it's a nice rifle. It's got impress checkering. The barrel, I think, is 20 inches or something like that. Typical Savage 99 action. It's excellent. You can see there's a loaded chamber indicator here, so that tells you can feel it whether it's loaded. And these are striker fired, so they tend to be excellent rifles and lasting. So what did I say? This is an E. This is a G. It has the removable magazine, so you just push this button and that works well. And same action. This one's in 284. Here's something that, you know, as you buy guns or collect guns, you'll see a lot of this. So this one would have been split in here all over, and then probably repaired with one or another type of epoxy. This looks, you can still see the wood grain in here, and here were some splits, small ones, sort of starting, but this would have been badly split, and then it was repaired and then spray painted, which looks okay. It blends in. In 284, it's a scarce gun, but usually one thing offsets another, so it's a scarce caliber, but the gun's not in very great shape, so I don't know what that's worth. And then somehow the rear sight broke off, but still worth owning, and it's got the indicator like the other one. And this one has a tang safety, not really on the tang, but sort of the Model 99 equivalent of the tang. So that's that one. So EG. This one is actually a Model 1899. This is the one that I think Mr. PH30 bought, along with all that old ammo. And it's the takedown model. And all you do to take these down is push this button, and then the forend comes off. Now there's an extractor on the bolt, which is activated by the lever, so you have to open that, and then you just turn this, and it's the same interrupted thread. design as the Winchester. And Mr. PH30 wrote me again just before filming, asking, how do you know if the takedown system is good? And the answer is really simple. Like this one before I took it apart, when you put it back together, if there's no wobble, then it's fine. The odd one I've seen was loose, but you have to work at it to get these to break. Anyway, this is a beautifully made model 1899. It has proper checkering. The bore is almost brand new. You can see the bluing. It may not be that evident on camera, but the machining on the original models was precise. All the edges were sharp, and they used that Carbona blue, which is, it's a very hard blue. You can read about it online. It's an excellent system. I think maybe Turnbull does Carbona blue again, but maybe not. And then color case hardening on the lever, and it has the lever lock as well, so that just goes like that. That just prevents your lever from opening when you're in the bush. This one has the tang mounted sight, which actually is quite effective. It's like a ghost ring sight, and then it has the indicator here. It's a little smaller, and then this perch belly, I think people call it a perch belly stock, and the check ring, and then some kind of grip cap, and then a steel butt plate. I mean, altogether a fantastic rifle, and if you can ever buy one of these, I would right away. So I won't bother reassembling it. I'll just set this over here. It's kind of neat to see it actually in component parts, and you can tell a lot of handwork went into these. And like I said, they're so undervalued. If you can find them, just buy them. And it has a flip-up sight, so when this is tipped down, you can tip this up or pop this down, which I usually use the other sight. Not that I've fired it much, but anyhow, excellent rifle. And then this is a 99A, and I wanted to show you the cartridge counter. So this is what I was referring to. The older models, and this one has it as well. I'll set that down here. The older models have this cool little window, because the magazine on this one and all of these except for this one, this is a typical box magazine. This what did I say this was? It's a model G. I thought it was a C, because usually the ones with the magazine are C's, but anyway, this is a G, and this does not have the cartridge counter because there'd be no way to count the cartridges because it's not a rotary magazine, but all the rest are, which I'll talk about in a second. So you can see a number in here. This one is an aluminum counter, this one's brass. The original ones are better. And so the cool thing, this is a lovely handling model, the 99A. So you just feed these in here, and they're a bit like a Mannlicher Schönauer. The rounds rotate around in a spool, and then as you depress rounds, the counter counts them. I don't know if you can see the counter moving just in that little window. Probably hard for the camera to pick it up. But anyway, this 99A, I was just saying before filming to some of the people here, it's one of those rifles that almost aims itself here, or at least for my configuration, it's wonderful. And this is 250 Savage, and I already said this one is 308. This one's 284, and then the 1899. This is the best of them. Is in 250 Savage, and the barrel's actually marked 250 3000, referring to the velocity with an 87 grain bullet Savage. And in its time, that was an exceptional achievement, that 3,000 feet per second with the, I think it was an 87 grain bullet. And then lastly, you can see how well made the front sights are on the 1899. This is not soldered on, it's milled into the barrel, and then it's split, and then the blade is inserted there. The more modern one has kind of more of a bolt action sight. You can see the typical ramp front sight. But even that's nicely made, nicely fitted. And the cheaper version still has a ramp, and so does the 284 Model G. So some things the same, and I mean, when you own them, when you own a number of them, as I have, you know, you tend to sort of study little things, and there are slight changes in the receivers, not just the clip removable magazine here. Different locations for milling operations, but that's just something you notice if you have a chance to compare them. But I thought that's useful to show you. And Mr. PH30, you've got an excellent rifle. Just check out that takedown, and if it's not locking up tight, take it to a gunsmith. They're easy to correct. So I probably told you more than once, this Savage 1899, kind of an unsung hero. I mean, people like it and they sold a lot of them, but overall they're very affordable. You'll see a lot of them have some wear, undoubtedly, because they were useful hunting tools. They were good. They're accurate, solid, very strong actions, and we've talked about that before. They don't have turning lugs. They lock by quite a bit like a martini falling block, but we don't need to go into that again. Anyhow, the other things you'll notice just by seeing all the guns on the table at one time, and if you have any questions or something, just drop me a line, and I'm sure there are things that you know that I don't know, and hopefully I got things mostly right. If I get some technical thing incorrect, please draw that to my attention. Always welcome. And that's it. So Savage Model 1899 and 99. And thanks for watching. We'll see you again.